And that means we're live. Hey guys, press Real Comic Book University. And I am here with Lewis of the Geek Fortress. Darn it. Oh, hey
What's
Lewis,
up?
can you share the stream to the Geek Fortress? Because,
Yep, I'm on
people
it.
deserve to see you. Yeah, so, not impromptu, but a little bit late. Sorry, guys. And I'm sitting here with my delicious glass here of, I got my Thor.
I thought you were gonna call me delicious for a second. I was like, bro,
You're so delicious.
bro.
I got my Thor giant, the drink. You can't see me, they can, unless you're looking at the live stream. I got my Thor.
I'm looking at the live
What
stream.
was it?
I'm
32,
looking.
32 ounces. This thing is. It's huge. All right.
Yeah.
And I got my my Hella. I don't want to get it. Yes. Got my Hella awesome Hella figure. That's the top that I got. Oh man. So you saw the movie. I saw the movie. You saw my
Yes, sir.
review, and I saw your
I did.
review.
That's right.
I got some things to talk about with your review. Dick Fillmore, what's up? Joseph's Books, what's up, brother? Hey, guys, make sure you check out Joseph's Books on YouTube. He's putting out a bunch of good stuff. Actually, I didn't see your latest video, brother. I got to check you out in a minute. Speaking of in a minute, I just put up tomorrow. Do you guys remember what tomorrow is? It's the 5th of November. So I put up V, explained in a minute. And I do a fairly in-depth explanation of the first issue of the 10-issue miniseries. I know everybody likes to think it's a graphic novel. It got put into trade paperback form, but it's originally 10 issues put together. In fact, even before that was when it first came to Vertigo. Even before that, when it was just a British publication, it was actually released chapter by chapter, and each comic book has 4 chapters in it. So it took approximately 4 years. 3 years for this thing to be released, and the last 2 were never actually officially released until the Vertigo imprint released them. So yes, there's that.
And you can take that one to the bank.
I'll buy that for $1. Let's just
Yeah, right.
go for some more 80s quips. So got Lewis here. Got my cup. Got my. You know what I got in the cup? I got some chocolate milk in there, and I'm really tired. But I remember your review. Now in your review, see, I talked about the comedy in there, about all the jokes. It seemed like every time that they did something, there was a joke afterwards. It's like, hey, I'm doing this, and here's a joke about it, And you complained about the jokes.
That's right.
All right, let's have a conversation about that. Because I was watching it, and I was thinking to myself, every time they told a joke, I cringed a little bit, like, ooh, stop, don't.
Yep.
You're doing too many jokes. But each joke was actually funny. I
have nothing against the level of funniness of the jokes. Uh-huh. I just don't like the fact that they are making it's like a mockery of themselves. Like if I wanted to watch something like a parody of a superhero, I watched The Tick, and I mentioned that in the review.
You did.
I actually watched a YouTube video that I really want to give him credit right now, but I don't remember. Later, I'll copy the link if I can. This guy who's comparing movies, for example, in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. Remember that scene when he gets his powers back? Yes. And he does the glasses thing, and then he takes it off? Mm-hmm. And that is such an epic moment. If Marvel Studios would have done that scene, something would have happened. Like the hair would have fallen on his face and something. He would have been like, like they take away the epicness of a scene. In Doctor Strange, for example, when he first puts on the cloak, and it finally goes on him, and it starts like tickling him in the nose. Like, I understand making fun of yourself, but at the same time, it's like certain moments should not be touched. It's like, this is epic. Let it be epic. Yeah, throw a joke later. Like when we can talk spoilers, right?
It's right on the.
It is. I'm sorry. I just saw it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So when Bruce Banner jumps off the ship or whatever, and he's like, "You're about to see," And I almost didn't think they were going to mess with that. I almost said, okay, I'm going to see him transform midair. Cannot wait. Splat. I don't want to watch an episode of the Looney Tunes. I can just go on YouTube and do that. You know what I'm saying? That part really pissed me off. That part pushed it over for me. But that's just me. I mean, I like the comedy. I like the jokes. Yes, the jokes hit. Yes, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes they overdo it. And like I said in my review also, I don't want them to be extra dark like DC. No, nobody likes dark. Nobody likes emo, blah, blah, blah. High school's over. Let it go. But I'm just saying, respect the character a little bit more in certain scenes. That's all. I'll shut up now.
It's all good. I hear you. What's up to Streaks93 and to Sean Sedrai? What's up? My Eye of Agamotto. So, let's see. T- oh, be nice, Dick. Dick doesn't mean anything by it.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
What do you call it? So
It's
anyway,
all good.
we have
It's
this.
I understand why he has the tissues nearby, so I'm gonna respect that.
Well, Dick is one a dick. Two, he's also an old school comic book fan. So
Right.
Dick is the kind of guy who doesn't buy comic books anymore for the most part because they're just not as good as they used to be. And I can't, it's hard to argue with him. I have often said that my absolute favorite run in any comic book, in any comic book company ever, was Walt Simonson's run of Thor. It was the absolute best. The absolute best. And while it was very epic, there were also some really good, funny moments in there. The Hulk scene with him falling and dying. What's funny is I looked at that as a parody of the death of the Incredible Hulk. If you remember that from the, and that wasn't from the comic books, that was actually from
The helicopter scene with Lou Ferrigno, and
yes,
I remember that
exactly.
movie.
You remember that from the
I
movie?
remember.
Well,
Yep.
there was also a scene in the
Excuse
in the
me.
TV series long before the movies came out, where he jumped out the helicopter, he crashed into a building, and when he crashed, you'd figure he's dead, but no, instead he turns into the Incredible Hulk. So, and I watched those things all religiously. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw him land and die in the death of the Incredible Hulk, I'm like, wait, what? How do you? But he survived another one. That was a much larger fall. What the hell's going on here? So there was that. So I think that I looked at that and I was like, I think they're actually just making fun of his death in that because it was a really crappy way to kill him. That's the way I looked at it as. But no, I hear you. I hear you. Absolutely. It could have seemed a lot more epic, but with a movie as large as that was, it did help it to appeal to a larger audience, I feel. Because one of the things I talked about in my review is you and me, as a comic book fan, we know who Superman is, right? And you know
Correct.
who Superman is. You know that if you see
Somehow.
him snapping somebody's neck, you're going to be a little bit pissed off and be like, yeah, Superman would not do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Likewise, seriously, I challenge anybody. Go ahead and show me in the comic books where he snaps somebody's neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when
Our Superman, no Earth 27 or no Superboy Prime. Our Superman.
right, Dick Fillmore
Yeah.
making a good good comment there. If Thanos has the Thanos copter in the Infinity War, I'll join him in his rant. I fully agree. However, I wouldn't mind seeing some kind of if like Tony Stark made some kind of a quipe about hey, we can get you a helicopter, we can write your name on the side of it. That would just be great. That would be great. Like for instance, in that reminds me of Arkham in Hell, Arkham Asylum in Hell. It was written by Dan Slott. It was amazing, and it was a story that had Batman in the first issue, and then what's his face at the end, Etrigan, the demon Etrigan, in the last issue. And it was kind of like a little bit of his backstory, but it was all about Arkham Asylum in and of itself. And that was where they introduced Great White Shark. A fantastic character that I have seriously neglected in myself by not making it explained in a minute for Great White Shark. What a shame. I'm going to have to rectify that one of these days. So what happens is at the very end, like one of the last panels, Great White Shark is now in charge of Arkham Asylum. And a bunch of people are coming to him and asking him for advice and asking for favors. He's no longer the new fish. He's the Great White Shark. And at one point, Riddler comes up to him. He's like, "Wait a second. So you're saying you can actually get me a helicopter?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I can get you a helicopter." He's like, "Do you think you could paint a big question mark on the side of it?" He's like, "I think that could be arranged." Which was a good, funny inside joke to the old Riddler copter. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was great. So little things like that. Actually, I enjoy seeing little things like that. Thor is a ridiculously tough guy character.
Yeah.
Hulk is a ridiculously tough guy character. And here's the thing: the way I look at it is, you've ever seen the big guys walking around? They're just out in the gym. They're freaking swole and just like that walking around. And they feel the need to walk around and, when they walk past you, they don't move to the side a little bit. They're purposely trying to
Oh
build up
yeah, they'd
on
rather
you.
knock you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to be tough and whatnot because, they juice up a little bit. They're nice and
yeah,
swole.
yeah, yeah.
And you could tell the difference between real muscles and, artificially injected muscles.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And those guys are always fun to put down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But the idea that, the bigger you are, the meaner and tougher you really have to maintain your image. And for me, it's more like, dude, I'm 6'5", and I'm happy to walk around with a big cheesy smile on my face all the time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't feel the need to ever be intimidated by anybody who I walk near. I never feel the need to try and prove how tough I am. I think that people can look at me, look at my height, and be like, yeah, this guy, pretty sure he can handle himself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not even what life is about. So
Hmm.
having two huge characters who I can't tell who's tougher, Thor or Hulk, it's fun for me to see them actually being lighthearted, having some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling out a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah.
Those dudes are, yes, you're right, Streaks. I agree. As a
No,
veteran, please
that's
explain
my
Jokers are
favorite
made
scene in
on.
the whole thing is when they fight, and
Yeah,
Thor totally won that, by the way. But whatever.
he did. Dick Fillmore, Professor, as a veteran, please explain jokes are made on battlefield and in morgues. That's life. um, kind of. There are moments. There are different coping methods. There absolutely are. But and unfortunately, one coping method is trauma. I've seen that myself. But what do you call it? One of the things I liked about it is that the comic, like I was saying before, we know our characters, we know who they are, and as long as you make the characters like themselves, and we're not looking and saying who's this jackass in a Thor costume or in a Superman costume, instead we're saying, oh look, this is Thor because he's acting like Thor. This is Superman because he's acting like Superman. Everybody stopped thinking that Batfleck was going to be no good once they saw his Arkham Knight esque appearance in Batman vs Superman, where he's just putting people's faces in concrete and just doing these wicked combo moves and taking people down. It was like, oh, we were able to forgive that he kills. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
no, he didn't kill. No, he did kill. No, I didn't see a body. It was blown apart into smithereens. What are you talking about? He pulled freaking guns. There was a guy with a gun, and he grabs the gun, and he's spinning around the room, shooting people with the other guy's gun. What
dude, I'm pretty
exactly?
sure when he knocked that guy on the floor with that one punch, he was dead.
Yeah, when the floor
No
broke.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
stuff
course.
like
No,
that. It's like,
dude.
okay, listen, people died. Okay, people died,
Yeah.
but the performance was so expert that we're able
Hmm.
to forgive little slights, little changes like that because the character felt like the character. And that's the thing about it. That's the thing we love. So Thor, to me, felt like Thor in this movie. So I was able to forgive all those jokes. And plus, it helped that they were funny jokes. And it helped because making it too intense is going to be one that's like. I understand the concept that a lot of people, state that, if the movie is too funny, then it takes away from it. But if it's too serious, then it takes away from it. So there weren't jokes after everything. Case in point, the executioner, Carl Urban, when he died, even though he was a joke character the entire time, at the end, there were no jokes told.
No,
You
I
know?
like that. That was epic.
Yeah, it's more epic if you read the comic book. Go and anybody's more than welcome to check out my the issues. What was that? Thor issue number 360, 361, and 362, if I remember correctly. Of Thor. That was the Death of the Executioner comic books.
Okay.
Excellent. In my opinion, you're not going to like hearing this, but go out and read the comic book and trust me when I say this. Better than the Death of Superman was the Death of the Executioner. I'm telling you right
Hmm.
now. It wasn't as epic, or excuse me, not I shouldn't say that. I take that completely back. It wasn't as marketable as the Death
Hmm.
of Superman. It
Hmm.
didn't change comic books. It didn't change people's opinions of the Executioner as much as it did. No, you know what? In fact, no. I have to take that back too. The opinions that it changed for Superman's death, was not nearly as great as people's opinions of the change in the Executioner. You got to read that comic. It was literally like
Okay.
he was the most throwaway bad guy ever, and he's been around since the early days of the Avengers when they were in single digits. And all of a sudden, this character has the most epic, honorable, noble death ever in history. And one of the things I said in there is, no, see, Dick, I believe that it was an even better death than Captain Marvel's death. He had a really sad death, man, a really sad death. But like with the Executioner, it was Scourge the Executioner, dude. It was next level. I was looking at pictures today, and all of a sudden a picture of that came up because of what I was searching, and I couldn't help but to get just a little bit choked up looking at it. Like it was literally like that, and I don't feel that with Superman, with the death of Superman or the death of Captain Marvel, the Ultimate Universe death of Peter Parker, which was really sad. You know what I'm saying? But this was something where it was a redemption story, and the redemption story is always greater than any other, in my opinion. Like that's the story that's like it actually makes a human being. It's one of those things that teaches boys how to be men in some ways, not necessarily how to die, but you know what I'm saying. How to make the right decisions in life. We were just talking about V for Vendetta earlier. So, see, Dick agrees with me. So, anyway, so yeah, there were good moments in it and whatnot. Now, do you feel that there was ever a moment where any of the characters, didn't feel like their characters?
Nope. Honestly, no. And like I said, one of the things that I liked the most was to see that side of Hulk that we haven't really seen before.
Mm.
Like the whole always green. I always loved that Hulk. So it was fun to see him that way. And but pretty much everybody. I mean, the only actually no, there's nothing. I mean, like I said, the movie didn't lack in that aspect. It was really good with the characters. I mean, they know the characters. There's a reason why Marvel makes the best superhero movies. You know, they know what they're doing. They have a formula.
Yeah.
They stick to the formula, and the formula's working.
They switched up the formula a little bit today. Sorry, real quick, Victor, what's up, brother? They switched up the formula a little bit with this one. There was no like shadow of the hero in this one. Like they did change Hela's background, that it's the sister of Thor and Loki, as well, Thor at least, as opposed to just the daughter of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
But with the it's complicated tag attached to it.
Yeah.
But, she wasn't necessarily. I don't know. It definitely did have it on there, but at the same time, they did switch up the story a little bit, or the formula a little bit, which I liked. The characters were really close together. Like I said, the the Ben Affleck appearance was hysterical. I died. Do you remember that?
You mean Matt Damon?
Did I say Ben Affleck? Sorry, yes. Matt
Yeah,
Damon.
I mean, they're like brothers.
There's
they're everything
pod.
together.
Like, if he wasn't playing Batman, I swear to God, he would have been the guy in there playing.
No,
playing
I was laughing a lot at that part when I saw him. I was like, of course.
Yeah, that was great.
When there was a part. Remember when Hela comes into Asgard and then she kills all of the warriors, and one of the ones that she kills is Zachary Levi's character. I was like, well, he's Shazam now, so he don't give a F. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, he's going to reincarnate in the DC universe. So I was laughing to myself when that happened, like an idiot. People are probably like, why is this kid laughing about? And I was just like, you know.
Yeah, see Dick throwing in the fields. All white dudes look the same. Streaks is funny. You know what? Other people have heard that for so long and are probably still hearing that I'm okay with that. That's great. What do you call it? There was the scene after the scene that we were just talking about where Thor actually grabs Loki. He throws the hammer away and then holds Loki up. And he says, now you know that this hammer is going to return to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was great.
That was actually directly out of Walt Simonson's run.
Nice.
And he did that with Loki. And, he actually held him up so that he could see it. And he's like, this hammer's not going to stop. So I need you to do, I don't want to spoil it in the comics. I need you to do what I'm telling you to do, because otherwise, and the only person who could have stopped that hammer besides Thor is Odin. So, yeah, that was great. That was great. I love that. Streaks is like, I'm black, so it's okay.
So am I. It's all good.
Are we gonna have a Spartacus
Um,
moment? We'll all get up, be like,
yeah.
"I am." we're all black.
uh, Dude, but yeah, when the hammer got destroyed, I it hurt my soul a little, but
Mm.
it was so symbolic at the same time. You know, I mean, as we find out later in the movie, um, it's funny because you know how hard they try to hide in the trailers that he was gonna lose his eye, and I'm gonna give you an example. You know the GIF that you have right now in the middle of the screen.
Yeah,
Notice how both his eyes are bright
I
in
did
the
that for a
movie.
reason because I
That
mentioned it
same scene.
in the spoiler review.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not going to give you this, but I want you to
Yeah.
look at the particular image where he lands from the bridge. You know, this one that you're
Yep.
seeing, and just notice his makeup. Just look at his makeup because if you're able to stop it at one point, you can actually see
Right in
underneath
the
it.
eye.
I know you can't see
Yep.
my face, but yeah, underneath you can see the little line under the makeup, and you know that
Yep.
that just shows, yeah, like that's great. And plus, like with the hammer gone, like the hammer is gone. The hammer is
Yep.
gone. The hammer could be remade. Who knows? The hammer could be remade, but for right now, oh, geez, Sean is leaving because of. Oh,
Oh,
geez,
Sean, I'm sorry, man.
no worry. A couple people leaving because of spoilers. Sorry, guys. but
From this moment on, consider yourself warned. All
oh
spoilers.
yeah, yeah. All the
We're like
spoilers are
sour milk right now. Spoiled.
here. Like putting milk
Exactly.
and lemon in a cup of tea. It's gonna get spoiled.
That. That.
So Bill, where is your face? You can't see my face. I see my face.
I can see your face.
Ah, I see my face.
Oh, it's a facial hair joke. I think.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up, man.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
That's messed up. It's all good. Anyway, what do you call? I'm happy with my look. Chicks keep
See,
it.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, Lewis got it. You got it, Lewis. Don't give it to me.
I mean, the joke is about you. I was just the bridge that helped you get it.
Yes. I got it. Ultimate Thor hammer just showed the movie a couple hours ago. Ah, so fresh and ready. There you go. Yeah, I saw Thor on Thor's Day, so there's that. What do you call it? So yeah, to me this was just such an amazing movie. I love like they had so many great homages to the Walt Simonson run and a couple of good homages to other Thor runs or Thor moments in other people's runs, and they had great moments for Planet Hulk, which nobody's going to argue that there's a better Hulk story than Planet Hulk. You know what I'm saying? They might
Yeah.
say Planet Hulk with World War Hulk, but yeah, best story run ever.
I wonder. You think they're gonna go into World War Hulk?
They
Because it's supposed to be like a 3-part arc or something.
3-part arc. Well,
I read somewhere that this movie is like one part of 2 more things that they want to do with the Hulk. So, I mean, he obviously hasn't gotten married and had the kid and anything yet, but in the movie universe. But I don't know. Maybe they'll go somewhere with it because I mean, we don't know if he's gonna go back to Bruce. He might not. He might. You know. So that's very open ended. But then for the scene after the credits with what happens, I don't think they're going anywhere.
Well,
So
here's the thing. They have Thor's hammer's destroyed. Hulk can't return to. Hey, what's up, Shivs? They can't return Hulk to Banner, right?
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of bad things are happening all over the place.
Yep.
One thing that's about to come up, though, in the Infinity War is the Infinity Gauntlet, which is capable of all things. So the hammer could be returned. Hulk could go back to Bruce. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of cool things could wind up happening at some point or another. The interesting part, I'm really kind of hoping Captain America dies because that's a moment. You know,
He probably is. He probably is. I mean, the broken shield was probably the biggest foreshadowing a couple movies ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really hoping they will. I know that they're going to do it right, even though DC effed up their version.
Yeah. Ugh. We talked about that another time.
Yes,
Remember how that should have been its own movie?
And it's worth talking about over and over.
It is, but let's not open that book right now because the whole hour would go on that, and you know it. You know it.
What you were saying about them planning on doing more things with the Hulk, there's a lot of rumors going on right now that they're planning on bringing Namor over. Now that's
Oh.
interesting because Namor, who, mind you, actually existed before Aquaman. Namor is the
Hmm.
inspiration for
Yeah,
Aquaman.
Aquaman is a copycat.
I wouldn't go that far, but Aquaman is way too cool to be called a copycat. You
That's
bite your
true.
tongue.
That's true.
Uh,
You know what I mean, though. You know how they say that the whole Dark Side and Thanos,
I
Hulk.
got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Oh man, see, having a Beta Ray Bill on their shows would be great. I did mention in my spoiler review, though, that there was the image of Beta Ray Bill on the Grandmaster's castle, and Tweegast, his castle. So they're indicating that he was a one of the champions a long time ago because the Hulk's face is on there also. So they're indicating that he did exist in the universe, but he either was freed or he's dead. So, like maybe the Hulk killed him. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, Superman's death had me laughing in the theater. Yeah, I can't blame you, brother. Can't blame you. So what happened is if they are going to bring the Hulk is in the same situation that Namor would be in. They were both bought. They were both purchased by Universal Studio. The problem is Universal Studio didn't do anything with Namor. They wound up putting out the. I believe that they were the ones responsible for putting out that Ang Lee movie of the Hulk, which is whatever. It happened. That's all I can say
hmm
about it. But they didn't do anything with Namor. Now, the way everybody had their own deals that they did. The way that the deal worked with Universal was the characters can come back, but Universal, will maintain the distribution rights, which means when you're talking about making the movie and making money off of the film itself, Marvel will make all that money off of a Hulk film or a Namor film. But
no
you
Blu-rays, no
exactly
nothing.
the sales of the Blu-rays and all that stuff will go directly to Universal, even though they haven't done a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about merchandising. I'm not sure about merchandising, but
I mean, I think it would fall under the same umbrella. I mean, I'm not really sure, but
yeah, I hear you. I don't
maybe
like to make speculations without actually knowing for certain, but like
Yeah.
that's
Let's
the
put a pin on it, but I'm pretty. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
we can probably look it up, but I'm sure it would fall
Unfortunately,
under
the
the same
information
umbrella.
isn't there. I have looked it up. The information isn't
Really?
there. Yeah, they don't put the contract online, which makes
Okay.
sense, but
Well,
still,
I
it'd be
if
nice.
I had to guess, honestly, man, I would say yes. I would say it would fall under it. Because think about it. They are making billions of dollars from the movie release, ticket sales, blah blah blah. Who's putting the money out for the advertising?
Yeah,
Marvel Studios. So they're doing everything.
yeah,
So they're getting their money back, and Universal Studios has them really tight. So they're gonna get any entry they can get.
yeah.
So they're gonna get DVDs, they're gonna get Blu-rays, they're gonna get T-shirts, action figures. Although the action figures sell in the Disney store, they probably get a percentage for it, if not the whole percentage. So I mean,
Possibility. So,
exactly. So
um, now the way that Marvel can avoid that is by actually making those two characters appear individually or together in an Avengers movie or in somebody
hmm
else's movie. So, like, it's a Thor movie. It's not a Thor and Hulk movie. It's just a Thor movie. So, Hulk appearing in there, they get distribution. Universal gets
hmm
nothing. There's, and obviously having them in the Avengers, but having another Hulk movie, like when they released the Hulk movie, they didn't get
hmm
anything from distribution. So, that being the case, I don't think that they're going to be releasing another Hulk movie anytime soon. But what they can do
Shame.
is, Namor, the Submariner, and
hmm
the Hulk were the two people who closed out the Tales to Astonish comic book. Originally, just started as a whole bunch of short stories, and then later on, it wound up becoming Ant-Man stories. Then it was Ant-Man and the name Namor the Submariner, and then pretty soon they dropped Ant-Man because he changed and he wound up going in a solo series, and but it was limited, and then he wound up going over, and we had the Tales to Astonish comic book was just Hulk and Iron Man, Hulk and Namor in two separate stories. They'd have half the book devoted to Hulk, half the book devoted to Namor. So, and then they both went on to their own separate series again. And the Tales to Astonish comic book just stopped. So, what they did in the early Avengers comic book, in the Avengers issue 1, Hulk joined with the Avengers. All the Avengers, they were formed. Issue number 2, by the end of the issue, he left, realizing that these guys are never going to trust him, never going to really give two squats about him. By issue 3 or 4, I forget, he started coming back, and he was being manipulated by Namor to attack the Avengers and to start trouble. So Namor and the Hulk were actually going out and starting trouble, and they were adversaries to the Avengers. So that's actually something that they could do if they wanted to. If they're going to continue telling the story and Hulk can't turn back to Banner, if you've really lost a lot of Banner in there, he could go back to Earth, or, just whatever. Something happens with Thanos, because end credits scene, that huge ship at the end, the mid-credits scene, it was released by Kevin Feige and a few others that is indeed Thanos' ship.
Oh, yeah.
Thanos is right there. He's right in front of the Hulk. So that's... Streaks is saying that Marvel has the merchandising deal. That would make sense since all the toys are out. At the same time, those are toys for Avengers or Marvel releases, so I don't know. Anyway, so... There's a lot that they could do. They could just make Hulk with Namor bad guys and have the Avengers have to go after them. It'd be a new team of Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're expecting Captain America's going to die, maybe Robert Downey Jr. will sit one out for a little while. You're going to have just a bunch of, the B roster Avengers going after Hulk and Namor. That could be pretty wicked. That could keep, Phase 6, maybe even Phase 4 and maybe even Phase 5 together. That would be really cool. But there's a lot they could do with these characters. They just have to.
Yeah. It's true.
It's damn true.
It's true. It's damn true. Kurt Angling me over here?
Yes, I am. I'm not giving you what treatment, though.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So, what do you have coming up on your channel?
Well, as we've been talking right now, I did release the 1-minute review of Thor Ragnarok. It's spoiler free, so if you guys want to watch it, this is already spoiler. So, but the one, so that's like Geek, but basically spoilers free. I try to do spoilers free as much as I can, but if I do a spoiler one, I will put spoilers or no spoilers. I always try to do that, and recently. I also I did one for Stranger Things Season 2, for those of you guys who may like Stranger Things Season 2. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Why are you showing us your cup, Bill? Are you offering me a drink? Is that what's happening right now?
Would you like some chocolate milk?
I would love some chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. I live by the chocolate milk. But anyways, I'm also...
the Thor swag.
Stop flashing me, man. What did I tell you at the beginning? Anyways, I'm also something that it's fun. It's my wife and I are actually doing it. We're playing Resident Evil 5.
Oh.
We're playing Resident Evil 5. We're in episode 5, I think. Look at that. Episode 4 or 5, I think. I don't recall too well, and we're continuing doing that. And I think my cat just broke my kitchen. But anyways, it's just I just heard like a giant thing. That's basically what I'm doing right now. But we're doing that together. It's fun. I do in the way I do the editing. It's funny because when I see a joke, I make it nice, and you'll see. You have to watch it so that you can understand it more. And I do have another comic book quickie coming out. It's been on the works just because I've been really busy. A lot of stuff's been happening, life. But I have a Rorschach comic book quickie coming out from Watchmen. For those of you guys who know, since Doomsday Clock is around the corner. And at New York Comic Con, they gave us some spoilers. I was just like, I need to do one of those. But yeah, that's it.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
nice.
man.
So I just did V. You're doing Rorschach. So we got Alan Moore pretty much covered here.
Yeah, we do. And I saw your V, by the way. I just watched it before I called you.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I love how you started with remember the 5th of November. I was like, Aye! I fangirl a little. I was like, Aye!
I actually started with that as opposed to starting with the Comic Book University.
Loved it. I loved it. That was great. Kudos.
Well, thank you very much.
I give that to you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
The vivacious vivisection of veritosity is veritably verbose, and anyway.
It was great. Like as soon as I saw it, I actually got goosebumps. I'm not even lying. I saw it and I was like, this guy, he went there. And then I gave you like a silent standing ovation. And I called you like 5 minutes after that, so maybe you felt the energy.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at some of the stuff in the chat. Streaks, thanks
No,
for
it's all
looking
good.
that up for us. I appreciate that. And Victor, yes, please send me the face rip, the link to the Facebook game, private message in YouTube. Actually, you know what? I got to private message you my email because yeah, I actually want to watch it on my my desktop. So while I'm working. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. You got to plug for your channel. We gotta bring your numbers up, brother.
We will. Like I said, man, it's just I don't have as much time as I wish I did,
I
but
know.
I try to make videos anytime I can. I mean, I have a 9 to God knows when. Uh, I work a lot of hours a day, so you know the story. So
And
I
you're
try to
going like
fit them
12
in.
hours a day before travel time.
Yeah, exactly. So when the time I get home, what I do is whenever I get a chance, if I'm not doing laundry or grocery shopping or life, I try to write a couple of things here and there, and then I shoot them the next day. That's why usually my videos come out Saturdays
Yeah.
instead of every day.
Too much a day
But
thing, man.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I have a job that's good, thank God. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
But trust me, that doesn't mean that I like my channel any less or the YouTube world any less. It's just life. It's just life. There's some stuff going on, you know it.
No.
Everything it's getting together, thankfully. So
You're holding
God
it like a
willing.
champ, I'll tell you that.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's been stressful. It's been stressful. I mean, sleepless nights, blah blah blah. We'll talk about that another time.
I personally have been putting on a V mask and handling business. That's just me.
hey, hey, don't put ideas in my head, man. I get a ticket to DC right now. What? Anyways,
So, yeah, I actually would like to see you do more gameplays. In fact, I know that you're a Pokemon fan also, and I
hmm
would actually like to see you doing like the old stuff, like Pokemon Green, Pokemon Blue and Red and Yellow, even.
okay,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
that's a
mind seeing you do something
possibility.
like that. Yeah, like that's something you literally just poof do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to
yeah,
see
I
that.
like that. I like that a lot, actually. Right now, also due to equipment issues, I'm limited to the systems that I can use, but it's in the works. Trust me, I have a few things. Um,
I know
all
that there are
my
ways to do it on your phone, and if you can
Yeah,
get
you can
the
get an emulator. You can get an
exactly,
emulator and
exactly,
stuff.
and there's also the as long as your phone is strong enough, then you can actually do the screen capture on your phone. I've
Yep.
seen the app, so you could literally just like on your lunch break at work. Okay, guys, here we go, and this secret is over here, and this is where you get the Pikachu. Because I was actually
Yeah.
playing a couple months ago, and I was thinking I should do this. I'm like, no, I've got too many other things to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing Pokemon Blue, I think it was. I'm just like,
Nice.
dude. Of course, I started with Bulbasaur. You would have started with no, excuse me. I started with
Charmander.
Squirtle. I started with Squirtle.
I always went fire. All my
Figures.
I always picked fire. He was my favorite. Oh, fun facts as we're talking about Pokemon, guys. Pokemon Omega Sun and Moon, the last games that came out for the DS for the 3DS. Those are actually the last Pokemon games that are going to come out for a handheld device, guys. That's the end of the line. It's been officially announced by Nintendo, so they're moving on from handheld to the Nintendo Switch, which technically it's also a handheld, but it's
Yeah,
also a
it's.
home console.
Mm,
So basically, they're taking the power of the Switch and making a new RPG Pokemon game. And rumor has it, it's going to be all of the regions from all the games put together in one game. I'm freaking out about
that.
that.
Holy crap. Pokey
Yeah,
World.
Poke World, correct, dude.
Pokey World.
So, and
That's
if that
sick.
if that happens, you probably won't hear from me in about a month. It'll be like, "Where's Lewis? He called out.
Shut
He
up. You're
called
going to
my
make videos or
job."
I'm coming down there to,
Yeah.
to jack slap you, man.
Our reunion's coming up soon as well, face to face. I feel it. I
It
feel it.
will.
That's gonna be epic.
It will.
Um, but yeah, so that's just a random fact brought
So
to
it's
you.
Pokemon Skyrim. I'm looking forward to it,
But
dude.
yeah, and Skyrim is actually coming to the Switch also.
Are you
So
serious?
yeah, dude, they're making a handheld a Skyrim. So Skyrim, but you can play it on the go.
I'm not joking when I say I miss playing Skyrim. Um, I miss
Oh, dude.
the hell out of playing some Skyrim, man. Oh my god.
What race do you pick? What race do you pick?
Oh, I pick different ones every time. I pick different
Nice.
classes every time. Everything. I'm always doing different things. Like I'll get tired of playing the thief, and I'll start
Uh
playing
huh.
a pure archer. I'll
All these
play.
years knowing you, I never knew you play Skyrim.
Really?
My level of respect for you, it's already up here, and he just went through the roof. I think
Dude, I
it
actually
just made a
started
hole.
playing Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. I
Oh,
was I don't know if you remember
nice.
Quick Check Costco's. I can't remember the name of the place, and I used to work there for a couple of months. Anyway,
FYE?
there was a no,
Oh no, you
not
were
not
there for
that.
longer than
There
that.
was anyway, there was a place, and they just whatever went out of business, completely out of business, no more in existence now. And they had video games there, computer games. And I was like, I got to see
Okay.
what they got here. Let me check this out. So I go and I grab this thing called Daggerfall. The graphics look pretty, cool. This is way
Hmm.
back in the day when it was brand new release and nobody really heard of the Elder Scrolls. The first one was Arena, and it was like,
Yeah,
whatever. It was really good, but I grabbed Daggerfall. I go home and I start playing it. And I'm like, this is the greatest game I have ever played in my life. I have never played a game greater than this. It is
that's
the
awesome.
largest map that has ever existed, and that's
Yeah,
real talk right there.
yeah.
So, oh man,
Yeah, so imagine that with Pokemon. Just,
yeah,
dude, the potentials are incredible. Now, they did say that it's not going to be within the next year or so, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. I mean, if they truly
I
take
think
their
it will
time
too.
with this game, it could be the best ever Pokemon game ever released, ever, ever.
Yeah, if you don't have to do all the trades and things like that, that could actually be really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, exactly. So people are already sending Nintendo, tweets about what they want in the game, this and that, But and the thing is that thankfully the Switch can handle a lot, man. I mean, if they were gonna have Skyrim in the Switch,
Hmm.
think about that.
Yeah,
Think about that.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So, are
So
you
I
sure that
mean,
they can do the mods?
yeah, I don't know about the mods. I don't quote me on that. I don't want to give you false information.
See, that's one of the
Um,
biggest thing about the game is the
I know,
mods. You know,
I know. But the way I see it, man, if there's a will, there's a way. They'll find a way. They'll do it anyways.
hack your
So,
Nintendo.
yes, dude. You know how many people hack their Wii U, and
I
everything?
didn't
You
know.
could literally send your system, like you would find a guy. Let's call him Paco. You find Paco. You send your system to Paco. You pay Paco $200. So it works by word of mouth because Paco needs to be trusted.
Yeah, yeah.
So if my friend Mark knows Paco, Paco is gonna get the money. Paco sends me back my system, and I have 1,000 games there for free.
Wow. So 6 degrees of
Yeah,
separation to Baco.
exactly.
The question is, does he know
Instead
Kevin
of,
Bacon?
I was just gonna say, instead of Kevin Bacon, this is Paco, man. And hey, man,
Paco's
he
famous. Paco's
maybe,
like, yo, free
maybe,
plug, man.
yeah, man, maybe he's gonna be in Footloose the sequel. You never know, bro. You never know. So it's like Paco lose. No, but anyways. But
Uh,
yeah, I mean, the future of gaming, it's bright. I love gaming. I know you love gaming as well. So I love it, and I'm never gonna grow out of that. I can tell you that right now. So
nice, nice. All right.
yeah,
Well, I'm going to wrap this up because I realized
wrap
earlier
it up.
that I forgot to do my Inhumans issue episode 6 or 7. I don't remember anymore. Review,
You
which
monster.
came out
You
yesterday.
monster.
Whatever. I never seem to forget about The Gifted, but I seem to forget about this a lot. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cancel this. We'll talk a little bit more afterwards, guys. It's good to see you guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University, with Lewis of the Geek Fortress. Class dismissed.